Good evening, everyone. It's Costas. Welcome to our first fall webinar for 2023. It is an exciting time to be looking to invest into real estate, and even more exciting time if you're working in real estate, because that means you're behind the scenes with boots on the ground, knowing what's going on. And it is some very unique times that we're about to get into. Apologies from the angle of my camera. I'm actually in the beautiful city of Calgary. Hashtag I love this city, and I really do. Somebody's mic is still on. We have been on the West Coast. I was at a conference, a real estate conference late last week, and then I came over to Calgary to meet with developers, see what all the hype was about. I came last year. I didn't tell anybody that I was here doing research before we started investing hours in our clients' money. So I wanted to come back here. This city is changing at a pace that is only surpassed by Toronto in this country. I believe that Calgary is the future for real estate investing in the country. I really believe that. They're currently at 50% the price per square foot of Toronto, but I believe in 5 years they will be where we are now, and it is a really unique opportunity. So what I'm doing here, without quickly turning this into a pro Calgary investment webinar, is I am in Calgary essentially not only doing research, not only solidifying my stance on it, not only speaking to developers, but I am guaranteeing that we have the best investment pipeline of any real estate professional in the city of Toronto. We are lucky enough to now be one of 6 platinum agents from Toronto that have exclusive access to the best projects in Calgary. That's right. Everyone knows that's been watching me about how the platinum tier system works and only platinum agents have first access. That is even a smaller, more significant and minute group in Calgary. So now we are the 6th pre-construction team to be granted a seat at the table with Truman Homes, and we have access to the entire Truman lineup. To put into perspective, imagine taking the 3 largest per volume developers in Toronto, say Tridel, Menke, Center Court, combine them into one juggernaut. That's Truman. Okay, so 3 out of every 4 projects are Truman in Calgary, and now we are one of 6 that have access to this, and I am so excited. But enough about that. Let's talk about what's happening in the economy. Okay, so for those of you that are veterans to my webinars, my podcasts, my social media videos, etc., you know what I have been saying for a while now, that based on the cycle of interest rate hikes by the BOC, there is a pattern that has formed over the past 2 decades that is always continuously followed, because as polite as we are as Canadians, we are also as predictable and boring. And I'm bored here, so I guess I can say it. But the reality of the matter is the BOC, anytime they've needed to do an interest rate hike, a significant one, and that's been 5 times in the past 2 decades, they do this. They act late. And similar to what happened in COVID, and I won't get into my opinions on that, but we reacted later than the rest of the world, okay? And then we kept our measures and mandates later than the rest of the world. So that's what we do. It's a Canadian thing. We are very slow to get up off the couch, metaphorically, and actually get to doing stuff. And the same was with interest rate hikes to battle the inflation that was on the horizon. So once again, the BOC started increasing rates too late. They actually should have done a rate hike during COVID once we saw the economy was strong, okay? And not only did they start late, but they over increased rates. And the reality of the matter is, if you actually pay attention and read a lot of studies on this, inflation really started to pause at the end of last summer, not this summer. And the reason we were seeing a lot of inflation was increased fuel costs. Diesel is required by everything to be transported around, right? And then also supply chain issues caused by COVID. But the other major factor that we're recognizing now is that 1/3 of the current inflation that we are experiencing is actually caused by the same interest rate hikes. So there is a large group of economists and professionals in these industries of thought, schools of thought, that are saying that we should have been done interest rate hikes a long time ago and are happy that the BOC finally paused. I cannot believe that they had a rate hike in June, but now it is official. Our economy is actually in contraction mode. It is shrinking, which means we are in a recession. And no central bank has increased interest rates during the recession, from my understanding, and neither did ours. So we saw an interest rate pause. Now, what does that mean for us in real estate? Because that is really what we care about. Because no matter what circle you step into Greater Toronto area, everybody talks about real estate. First, it was about multiple offers. Then it became about investing. Then it became about interest rates. Okay, so we're in that phase. But what did we see? And I am a student of history and war because I believe history will always repeat itself. And if you truly want to understand the mindset of a people or peoples, look at the way they fight. Okay, now, not having to go back far, but if we look to what happened earlier this year, when we had two interest rate pauses, the market went from being essentially stagnant, the investment market, in January, February, March, to absolutely catapulting back to where it was earlier last year in April, May, and June. And then with the hike, I believe it was early June, maybe June 5th, I want to say, but I might be wrong. It was early June regardless. Then it went to slow down again. But traditionally, we have slow markets in July and August, and we pick up again in September. So what does it mean for September? I forecast that there will be another interest rate pause on October 25th, and then a potential drop or pause in December. I don't see a drop happening in January because consumer spending always tends to increase in December. But the next one in February, and I believe that's when it is, will be a drop, okay? So we are expecting pauses, if not drops, moving forward. So if we see what happened earlier this year, the market should start to pick up this September. It should be in full swing for November. I do not predict, and I'm going out on a limb here, and for those of you that have been with me for a while know that I'm pretty accurate about this stuff. I don't see a slowdown for the holiday months this year. I think the market will pick up and we will continue to stay busy on the investment front for November, December, January, and then by February, we're going to have an early start to spring market. And that's because we're going to start seeing rate drops. But what does this mean to you, the investor, sitting on the sidelines? It means that you need to not metaphorically, but literally get up off the couch and pick something to invest in. And that's the truth of the matter. Because the price per square foot that we're seeing now, although it might appear high to those first-time newbie investors, it is actually not. It is where it was essentially last year. So we've pretty much seen about 12 months without real price increases on the price per square foot front, which means that they will start increasing. And I predict by this time next year, $100 to $200 per square foot jump, closer to $200 a square foot across the board. Now, how can I predict that? I can predict that because that's where we should have been now. But because of the rise in rates and the subsequent interest rate hikes, because of the rise in inflation and the subsequent interest rate hikes, we saw prices stay flat. We also saw super extended deposit structures. We were also seeing things like rental guarantees, et cetera, et cetera. Those will disappear very quickly. That's right. I also predict that you will see the disappearance of the 20% down deposit structure, and you will see a 25% down deposit structure within the next 18 months. So I would hurry for two main reasons. Three, and the third one's pretty obvious, but sometimes we can't see the forest for the trees. One, prices are going to skyrocket. We lost 40% of future units that were going to be built last year because projects were delayed or canceled and didn't sell. So in 4 to 5 years from now, there's going to be 40% less new product in a market that is dying for new product. Two, We are going to see gone are the 5% a year deposits. And further, it's going to go from 20 to 25%. Two main reasons. And three, if these things actually affect you, as they do the majority of us, because money for us is not infinite, it's finite, okay? Then you really need to make a move because you won't be able to afford it. And that's the truth of the matter. Like, I can be your best friend if you allow me, because your best friend's the one that makes you money. But I'm telling people, I used to remember 6 years ago when I started selling condos that people were telling me how expensive they were. At $600 a square foot in 2017, 2016 in the city of Toronto, they were telling me that price is ridiculous to buy at Yonge and Eglinton at $600 a square foot. These people now own 0 investment properties and they never will own one. And a lot of them are stuck as renters, okay? So I really want you guys to understand this. I want to be your friend that makes you money. That is the best type of friend. To do that, you need to listen to me. I don't know everything, but remember, I'm the one that created the pre-construction investment course for the largest real estate board in the world, the Toronto Real Estate Board. For them to ask me, for my peers to nominate me, for me being the one that teaches the realtors that you speak to, there's a reason. So I'm pleading with you. If you are looking to increase the financial freedom for your financial freedom for your family, to secure a healthy future financially for your family, or just to have a better quality of life, and you want to invest, do not wait anymore. And this is not something that I'm saying as a real estate professional because I'm trying to get your business. Because I've told you guys, we're busy. And coming to Calgary, I have a strong foothold in the fastest up and coming, most booming market in the city. And I'm one of a select few. But what I'm telling you guys is we have branched out. We have Toronto real estate. If that's too expensive, I have Calgary real estate. And we are also going to touch on something that I'm going to do a subsequent webinar called the buyer pool, where you can buy a percentage of a condo and still get into the real estate market and reap the benefits. So we have 3 avenues of investing. So there's really no reason why you yourself are not investing. Hopefully with us, because it's very hard to find an honest realtor and an honest lawyer. And I happen to be one. But I'm telling you, it's time to invest. It's time to make a move. It's time to get up off the couch, decide on what you're going to do, educated, correct decisions, and let your money work for you. Okay, it's time to start our webinar. Webinar agenda for this beautiful September in the year 2023. Number 1, secrets to successful condo investing. Now, again, this is going to be I'm done doing webinars where I spoon feed everybody step by step about how to invest in the pre-construction market. We're going to summarize it. We're going to fact track. There is ample videos of step by step on YouTube. And if you contact us, we can definitely send you. And if you have any questions, our staff and myself will help you. But number 1, secrets to successful condo investing. This is what I teach realtors, and now you're going to know. Navigating the pre-con market, top strategies to maximize return on investment, and how to choose the right project for you. Then we're going to get into the best fall projects to explore. There are 35 projects being launched from now until the end of October, and we're going to help you navigate you through. We're going to talk about 8 today. We're going to talk about another 5 or 6 in October, and we're going to get you ready. We're going to thin the herd to give you the prime cattle, the prime beef that you want to take and make the most on money on. We're picking the winners for you so you don't have to. Let's go. Number 1, secrets to successful condo investing with pre-construction condos. Approach the purchase for exactly what it is, an investment. And before you guys sit back and say, you know what, be stating the obvious, it's not obvious for everybody. Eliminate emotion when investing, okay? No matter what you do in life, if you make an educated, logical decision and you weigh the pros and cons and you treat everything like a business. So what I like to do in my decision making is I like to wake up first. I'm up in the 4s in the morning. Okay, I wake up before the city does, and I do my best thinking. And when I have major decisions to make, I look at a pros and a cons, and I treat everything like a business, even in my personal life. And that is how I make the right decision. And when I get emotional, I never make the right decision. So remember, an investment is a vehicle to increase the value of your money, to increase the amount of money you have. So you treat it like an investment. So you don't care really about neighborhoods in a matter of, do I personally like the neighborhood? You care about the neighborhood that your investment is in based on what that neighborhood can do for your investment. Next. Use previous project prices in the area as a guide, but do not use it as a comparable. And this will be forever true, but even more so in the next 12 months. For those of you that are still undecided and for some reason or another are waiting to pay more money next year than this year, I don't know, but when I make an investment, I want to make the most money. I don't want to make the least, but that's your business. But for those of you that aren't ready to make an investment and you have the money, you're going to use the prices this year as a guide for next year. And you're going to say, damn it, I should have listened to that guy. But you know what? It is what it is. But here's the truth. Every subsequent project in an area will sell for more than the previous project. This is a guarantee, like taxes and that other thing that we don't really talk about that much. But death and taxes are guaranteed in life, and same with the new project being more than the previous one. So this is a guide. But here's why I want to talk about this. Don't look at a previous project and say, that was less, I'm not going to buy the new one. That makes no sense. So you missed out on one opportunity, you're going to miss out on another one. And what? Go in for the second or third project and pay 3 price increases? Never. We don't sell time machines, and I've been coined using that line, we sell condos. But I'll tell you one thing, if I can't go back to yesterday and buy, I'll buy today as opposed to buying tomorrow. Trivial details, do they really matter? Absolutely not. There is one thing that's important about buying a condo, a new condo, and that's buying in the first round. Maintenance fees, secondary. Location of elevators, meaningless. Location of garbage chute, meaningless, etc., etc. Let me tell you guys something, because everybody's like, a lot of clients that are new to this, what do they say? They say, listen, oh, where's the garbage chute? Oh, it's close to my door. I don't want that unit. Well, unfortunately, you took too long to choose, and we don't have another option. Oh, forget it. I'll wait for a next project. So you're really going to pay $100 more a square foot because of the garbage chute? Oh, the elevator is in front of my unit. I don't want that either. I am living in a condo that I purchased with mother of my children when we were together back in 2017. I was actually in the Toronto Star for this, and it is beautiful. Elevator opens up into the unit. Guess what? For the elevator to open up into my unit, it has to be behind the elevator. So I'm going to have a unit that I live in with that. So we'll scratch that. There's also a garbage chute right outside my door. I hang a right. There's a garbage chute because the garbage chutes are connected to the elevator chutes. So I personally am living in a unit which dispels those two myths. So think about it. If I'm doing that, why shouldn't you do it as an investment if I'm living in it? So I talked a little bit about my own personal life, which I try not to do too much, but it's an example of if I'm the resident professional in our city and my personal unit was purchased with an elevator and a garbage chute attached to it, essentially, then maybe it's not a bad thing. And this is what I'm talking about. Don't worry about these details. Don't worry that I wanted floor plan A, but floor plan B is available. Because here's the thing, the people that let these trivial things affect them, the new investors, they're also the ones that take longer to select. And the longer you take to submit a worksheet and to select, the less units are available. So remember, what is the number one thing to condo investing? It's buying in the first round, and that's the golden rule. Perfect floor plan. Does it exist? Absolutely not. Guess what's the perfect floor plan? And we're going to see a pattern forming here. It's the unit you get to buy in the first round. Am I a broken record? Good, because I need to hammer this home, because this is the most important thing to investing in pre-construction is buying when, people? First round. Let's talk worksheets. This is the ticket to getting you the best plan in the first round in your budget. Always provide your true max. So what is the worksheet? The worksheet is the way that you let us know what you are looking for, and we let the developer what we need for you. So this is it. This is your ticket to success with condo investing in the pre-construction market. It has basic information, basic personal information, but more importantly, it has your maximum budget and the type of unit. The floor plan to me is really meaningless because over 90% of our purchasers are investors. So it's more important to get them the first round than a specific unit. And all these webinars are targeted towards investors. If you're an end user, forget all the stuff I said. Little things matter to you, and I will do my best to get you that unit. And it's even more important that you come in first. But if you're an investor, you're going to fill this out. Most important thing on this is two parts. One, how many bedrooms am I looking for? And two, your real max budget, because that allows me to give you units that come into my hand and match them up with you because they have the same amount of bedrooms you're looking for and they're within your price point. Essential. We have a couple projects launching this week. We already have worksheets, which is great. And these people have communicated with us. And listen, the reality of the matter is, I might not be able to get you the one unit, but if I get you a first round comparable, jump all over that. Timeline of pre-con sales. And you must understand this because this is the way stuff unfolds. One, you register for a project you are interested in. And you either do that by calling us or by going online and signing up for that project. And why do you do that? Because one, we know that you're interested in it and we keep you up to date and we send you information as it trickles out. Step two, before launch, submit your preliminary worksheet. This allows myself to communicate with developers and their sales team and give them kind of a ballpark of what units I'm really looking for and need so that when they do give us units, the allocation, okay, they have catered it to match our needs. Three, get full project package on the day of launch and submit your floor plan choices. We may have plans before launch, and then this is nullified because it's already happened in step two. If not, you have 24 hours to tell us what units you need, 3 choices, and then we'll get you one of the 3 because that's what we do. 4, wait for your allocation unit choice. Lock it in and sign the agreement of purchase and sale, and then you enter your 10-day recession period. What is the 10-day period for? 1, it's for dropping off your checks. 2, it's for going to the sales center if you need to see and feel and have an understanding better. Like if you're not a seasoned veteran and you want to meet, pick a time. Hopefully I can meet you there. I try to meet everybody, okay? And that's where we say, okay, this is where your unit's located in the building. You can see this is a real developer because they rented out the space and built it. Very few sales centers now have scale model suites. So don't always expect to go in there and see a kitchen and a bathroom and walk through. Those don't really exist anymore, but they will have a scale model and they will have some finishes for you. 5, deliver bank, draft, and postage checks. Again, that's when we can meet you at the sales center if required. Ever since COVID, very few people actually meet us at the sales center. And I think that's a wonder too, and a testament to the amount of technology that we're using nowadays, where people really feel immersed in the project without actually having to be there. And again, because First Access Condos works with some of the best in the business, you are very, very safe and feel comfortable that way. 6, have a lawyer to review the APS and arrange a mortgage pre-approval. We can assist on both those fronts. Please, please, do not go to your parents' lawyer that is 90 years old, still practicing, and has no experience with pre-construction condos. That's really funny because my parents are in their 80s, so their lawyer would be in his late 80s, almost 90. That's why I say it, okay? But all joking aside, use someone that has experience with these things. And we can recommend multiple, okay? And also go to a mortgage broker. They usually can do these mortgage pre-approvals at less strain and stress on you, the buyer. Some branches of the big banks have no idea how to do these. An example, and I don't want to knock anybody, I don't want to get sued, but our clients that try to use Scotia, who I have been banking with since 13 years old, is horrendous when it comes to mortgage pre-approvals. Okay, it's just a pain in the ass. You got to keep going in and in. They don't know how to do it. It's a hassle, and we don't want the buying experience to be tainted by someone that doesn't know what they're doing based on ignorance, not personal. Okay, so reach out for us. We can assist. And number 7, the most important thing out of anything: wait for the project to build and watch your investment grow. And the beauty of condo buying in the GTA is because our population is forever growing, we always will need more housing. That means that we will keep building condos. So if you buy an area X, there will be a new project for sale in the vicinity within the next 6, if not 12 months. And you can see the new price list for the new project, see how your value has increased, and you can constantly keep an eye on the increase of your investment. That was a lot, but I hope you guys got it. Rounds of pre-con buying, what does it really mean? First round, that's platinum. Gets prelim info before the official launch, gets first round allocation, gets first round incentives, gets the best floor plan. Second, VIP, access to everything that did not sell in the platinum. Third, all retails, and final public. As the real estate market sales volume increases, we will see significant price jumps from one stage to another like we used to. Center Court is launching Pickering Center condos tomorrow. They were infamous for doing a $25,000 price increase after the first weekend. If they are busy, which they will be, I wouldn't doubt that we will see that again for the first time in 12 months. You heard me. So for those of you that are on the fence about getting your worksheets, I am getting my hard allocation on Thursday morning, I believe. We need to get those locked in by the end of the weekend, or prices are going to increase. Okay, we'll talk about that project later. That explains everything. Is by the time it goes to public, it was not unseen to see $60,000 to $80,000 price increases from first round, up until the start of last year when the interest rate hikes really started hammering the market. This is going to come back. Real estate is going to become really expensive in Toronto in the next few years, and everything is a cycle. Okay, so we are down in the cycle of stagnation in prices and sales, and now we're on the uptake, and we are going to see a boom come pricing and both sales volume. Resale versus pre-con. Why do we buy pre-con? The bulk of appreciation is earned before it is built. It's completely hassle-free. Essentially, all you do is write post-dated checks. Zero expenses, carrying cost headaches while the investment is appreciating. That's true. And if we look at the past 10 years, in 9, if not 10 years of continuous investing, if you bought in the first round, you made money by the time the property was built and closed. You are going to hear about people that need to add money to close on their pre-construction purchases. These people either bought low rise, which gets built really quickly, and or did not buy in the first round. Find me someone who bought in the first round and didn't make money on their unit, or lost money and had to kick in money. You will be extremely hard pressed to find it, and I would be really surprised. And I'm sticking by that statement. We've been selling pre-con since 2016 in full throttle, and nobody has bought a condo from us and not made money after construction. Nobody at all. Want to go back a second? So we have no tenants, no property taxes, no mortgage, no utilities, no insurance. So essentially, it's a hassle-free. So all the thing that's a pain in the butt when it comes to being a landlord in resale, that is thrown out the window with pre-construction. And that is hassle-free. And like I said, it's the closest thing to a guarantee to make money and not lose it in the investment world. Top strategies to get maximum return on your investment. The fancy term for that is ROI. That's the abbreviation. Choosing the right project for you. There are 3 things you need to look for when choosing which project will give you maximum ROI. And this is what I call the first Access Condos checklist. And I'm excited about this, and you should be too, because we vet every project. with these criteria in mind. We add a couple more to make sure it's the right one for all our investors, no matter which one you see us promoting, but we can fine tune that for you. Number one, density. Density is the parent to condos. It creates the need for condos, and density and transit are interchangeable, because with density, you need transit, and with transit, you get density. So those go hand in hand. And number three, education and employment hub, because when we have density and we have the ability to move people, okay, we need people to live in those condos that we bought as an investment. So we get students or employees, and that is the triumvirate right there. That's the three most important things to investing, and every project that you see us promote has these three. Now, I am going to take and give you guys a couple minutes to absorb what we can talk about. If you guys want to ask any questions, we're going to change it up a little bit. I don't usually do this. Type it in the chat. If I can't do that, Ashley and Kayla let me know. And then I'm going to come back in 4 minutes and we're going to ask you some questions and we're going to go right into projects. Okay, everybody, welcome back. Ashley, do we have any questions to answer?
Nothing that I haven't answered.
Oh, you're fantastic. You're just a gem. Okay, let's jump into pre-construction projects fall of 2023. I am excited about this fall. I personally, I've been very vocal about this. I think there's way too many projects out there. I think is extremely confusing. It is very, very difficult waters for you, the investor, to navigate. Okay, and luckily that I'm the captain of the ship, and you guys are part of the ride. And let us do the heavy lifting for you. Let us chart it out, and that's why you're here, so we can guide you to ensure that you get maximum success. So the first project we're going to talk about is Pickering City Center. I love this place almost as much as I love Calgary. Just joking. Why do I love Pickering City Center? This is really showing us a glimpse into what's happening in Durham. There is a big boom, and I've been saying this, okay? We've built up to the north. Vaughan has boomed with condos. Mississauga to the west has been booming now for decades, and it has a skyline that's going to start rivaling Toronto proper soon. Toronto, there's not enough land. We can't go to the south. Yonge and Sheppard and North York, condos everywhere. It's happening. Now, the east is really the forgotten aspect of Toronto GTA real estate when it comes to condos. And what we see is over 75 applications in Durham for new condos. Close to 40 plus have already been approved. We have 55 acres here at the old Pickering Center, Town Center, okay? And what's going to happen is Center Court, one of the best, biggest, the most prolific developer to come out of nowhere in the past decade and to be knocking them out of the park at record speed, developers here in the GTA has partnered up and taken on basically a revitalization of Pickering Center condos. It's where their city hall is. They are building a new place for people to gather with fountains and skating rinks, essentially Durham's version of Jurassic Park. Okay, that's going to be there. Just shy of 1 million square foot new mall. There's potentially 20 condo towers that will be built there by the end of this master plan community. There is also going to be a hotel, and phase one is going to have 4 plus another 2 additional towers. And this is the start of the first 4 that will share one common underground parking space, but will be each their own building. So it is 45 stories, 500 units, a true master plan community in all its meaning. 12-minute walk leads you to the Pickering GO station, easy access to downtown, the fastest way to get to downtown in traffic for those of us that we don't have helicopters. 401 can be reached a few minutes by car, and 407 is under 14-minute drive to the north. Centennial College campus is situated at the southern end of the mall, and that's a 7-minute walk away. So everything you need, and the largest mall in Durham is going to be right here within walking distance. And this is fantastic. But what's even more fantastic is the pricing. It is the best price project in the GTA at $1,050 a square foot. Now, that's for the first round. And remember what I told you about Center Court. No one sells faster than them. And what are they known for? They're known for building on time, if not sooner. No interim occupancy. Once you get the keys, you own it. And they also are known for increasing prices very quickly because they always underprice it. You guys listen to that word, underpriced. This building is underpriced. 2 comparables in the area, thank you, Kayla, are at $1,170 and $1,185 a square foot. But they're not in the master plan. So right smack in the master plan, first condo, first tower being sold in this is going to be around $1,050 a square foot average. That's right. That's not just phenomenal, it's spectacular. And this is realistically, I can only guarantee it for the first weekend. So this is launching tomorrow. I picked units, spoke to some of the people that submitted worksheets, and created what I believe is an incredible wish list to guarantee you guys you get what you need. And that was submitted on the weekend. And we're going to get our units, I predict Thursday, early day. And we're going to have these locked in by the weekend. And our first batch of buyers are going to have the best price in the GTA locked in. And they're just going to watch their investment grow. For those of you, okay, Get in your worksheets quickly when we launch that package tomorrow. If you haven't registered, sign up so we know who to send the package to. Because if we didn't get you to register, you would be getting 20 emails a week from us, and we won't do that to you. So that's why it's imperative that you register. 1,050 square foot, best price in the area, 55-acre master plan community, one of the first towers out of 75 that's coming to Durham, the new Pickering Center condos. Launching tomorrow. Now, let's jump over to Yorkville. Everybody's heard of Yorkville. It's the most expensive, extravagant area in the city of Toronto. It is walking distance to the subway, walking distance where all the most expensive shopping is on Bloor. It's basically where the who's who wants to live, and not only live, but to live, work, play, and be seen, of course. And this is by Capital Developments, one of my favorite developers. I own multiple units and multiple projects. I am really, really confident when I take a client to their project and tell them how the finishes will be exceptional, but the build quality will match that. They also build on time, okay? If not sooner. I own a project, there's a Young and Finch, and it was actually built 6 months early. And when I was worried about the interest rates being so high, they actually went higher after. So thankfully, they finished 6 months early than not, okay? This is gonna be where Davenport and Church meet, okay? It is forever views to the north with the Rosedale Valley, exceptional views to the south north of the 25th floor. Okay, if you're an investor, remember, for those of you that have been watching me, views don't matter. But it is a beautiful building with a 96 walk score, 90 transit score, 89 bike score. The heart of Yorkville, forever views. How often do we hear someone sell a building right in smack in downtown and say, I am giving you forever views? You don't hear that, because if I don't say it, no one say it. And I'm telling you, we have forever views in multiple directions. Pardon?
Where?
Ashley, keep an eye on the mics, please.
Absolutely.
Because then we get feedbacks. Okay, so where was I? I was talking about forever views. There is something to say about guaranteeing a view in a project. I am coined for telling people, if you're not right on the lake, facing the lake, and that no longer exists because there's no land in the city, okay, then I can't guarantee your view. But I can guarantee them here, because to the north, we're looking over at Rosedale Valley. And to the east, there's buildings that will not get torn down. And to the south, there's not buildings that get torn down. And if you notice how Davenport curves, okay, there's buildings there that are not going to get torn down either, at least for our lifetime. So as far as we're concerned, we got forever views. And this building also has something that is trend-setting. It does not have parking. This is the first building in the city of Toronto approved with no parking, and it is the first of many, and it is the future. So parking in this building would have been $200,000. So the developer sat down and spoke to people like myself and said, okay, what do we do? How many people are going to spend $200 a parking spot? And the answer is not many. So they're going no parking, first of its kind. They're going to have agreements with parking lots in the area. They are going to have multiple cars offering a car service, okay, subsidized by maintenance fees. And that's the way of the future. So get into this building, rich and high-end boutiques, gallery studios, fine dining, posh hotels, all in the area. East and North residences are visually connected to expansive green space, all in the heart of downtown, guaranteed views, only $1,700 a square foot. Now, before you say, is that guy absolutely off his rocker saying only $1,700? This project next year in the area, if it launched, it would be $1,900 a square foot or $2,000. Remember, prices are suppressed and have stagnated and have not increased for the past 12 months. That is about to finish. This is launching on Thursday. And go to the slide, let's see where we're located. At Colley and Park Road, where Church and Davenport change names. All going to be green space. Look at the walk to the TTC entrance for both Yonge and Bloor subway lines. 1 block away. All the benefits of Bloor Street in Yorkville, a couple blocks north to provide you peace of mind. I'm currently a couple blocks away from Yorkville. And when I sit on my terrace, my kids, because we moved from Aurora, we were there for a couple of years, they tell me, I actually don't mind living here because of how quiet it is. You forget you're in the city. And that's the feeling you will get here, being a couple blocks away. Oh, don't be sorry, Latoya. It happens. Boulevard Q. We're jumping to Etobicoke, jumping to the Queensway. I have nothing but love for the Queensway. And why do I have so much love for the Queensway? Because it is significantly less per square foot and it is a short drive from downtown. Simple. You can jog down to the lake or ride your bike. You can go a little north and hop on the subway at Dundas, or you can hop in your car or take the 24-hour streetcar and get into downtown. Simple. All the conveniences and some benefits of being close to downtown by not in it, but a third off and a third price savings. Not a third less rent. And that's what people don't understand. Buying a little bit outside the core doesn't mean you're going to get a comparable rent drop. It's not proportionate. And that's why it's a great opportunity for those of you that don't have the financial capability. And I tell people, your first investment should not be in an area like York. Those areas that are AAA will not increase as much as an area that's up and coming. And the Queensway and the amount of application for new condos that exist for it is there. It's in the up and coming stage. This is a great first investment or secondary or tertiary investment. And most importantly, it's being built by Mattamy Homes, the largest home builder in North America and the second largest construction company in North America. That's continent-wide, not nationwide. 11 stories, 210 suites, all with balconies and terraces. Something we don't get downtown. South Etobicoke boutique building, 90 walk score. A 90 walk score in the suburbs is big, although Etobicoke is not really a suburb, okay? 3 floors of amenities, indoor communal spaces, including state-of-the-art gym, exquisite entertainment lounges, etc. Like I said, close to transit. West, you have the 427 that takes you to the 401, the airport, etc. Then you have the Gardner and the QEW, it takes you east and west. Etobicoke boasts an abundance of green spaces, park, and multiple waterfront areas, and it is close to numerous schools, colleges, and educational institutions. And again, for 2/3 the price of Toronto, you are getting rents that are a lot higher than that. Launching September 19th. Now, this is a map which shows everything. We have these slides to send them to you so they're more legible. Okay, it tells you distances by car, distances by walking, distances by bus to multiple places that you will be traveling to and from. It tells you about retail spaces, schools, transit, parks and rec, cafes and restaurants, all within a short distance of Q. Now, the RIV. Now, there'd been a break. We used to really promote the river and Dundas area a few years back. And then with a couple delays because of some disagreements with City Hall that were finally hammered out, Broccolini, which was one of the oldest construction companies, they're out of Montreal. They also become a developer. They've built numerous condos here for condo developers, but they built their own first building, River and Fifth, which is the sister building to the RIV, right at River and Dundas. And this is getting occupancy later this year, early next. And now they're finally selling the RIV, which is the building just south to it. Okay. Now, everybody should know that lives in the city that the Regent Park area saw a huge revitalization, brand new condos, some of the best community centers in the city. Okay. And this area has really changed, and it's not on its way to change. It has already changed. Now, it is right next to the Don Valley and the Gardner. It is also walking distance to East Harbor, which is going to have over 60,000 full-time employees working there every day. Construction has started. It is also going to be the transit hub and the home of the Ontario Relief subway line. It's going to have GO Transit, Smart Track, LRT, Queens Quay LRT, Broadview LRT, and like I said, subways and buses and streetcars. So this transit hub with 60,000 full-time employees working there is a 12-minute walk from the RIV. Remember what I said about transit, density, and employment in schools. Well, the area has increased in density over the past few years and will get more because I know the applications that are coming. Okay, there's another project to the south, there's another project to the north, and there's projects just in a domino effect that are going to launch. You have transit because you have the second largest transit hub essentially in the country, 12 minutes away. And around that transit hub, you have 60,000 full-time employees in high-paying jobs working there. So everything that we need to make this a winner and to guarantee it, it is being checked off. And this is launching September 20th at $14.50 a square foot, the best value project in the downtown core, built by a AAA developer who does their own construction, the Riv Condos at River and Queen. This shows you everything that's around it. And this is a great slide. So register for us. This, let our staff send it to you. It talks about East Harbor, the Portland's redevelopment, which will take our city and quickly catapult it into being recognized as the world-class city that we already know it is. It shows all the parks, all the neighborhoods, all the areas. And I tell you this, I have seen drone shots east and to the south, and this is the best view in our city. You see all the waterfront when you're looking west and south, all the waterfront to the west. You see the entire downtown skyline with the sunset falling behind it. It is not only postcard, it is heavenly, the view from this building. And to the east, you see the sunrise up over the beaches and the bluffs. You cannot get a bad view on this because to the south, you see the lake. To the north, you see all the way up the Don Valley and the rise of the city as it elevates. These are some of the best views. And if I didn't share them with you, you would never know. So reach out to us and let's enjoy this together. This is launching on, what was the date again, if I'm not mistaken? Wednesday, the 20th, I believe. Yes. And I'll be at the launch taking multiple videos and pictures for everyone to see what's happening. 8 Temple, one of the last projects just outside Liberty Village. So Liberty Village, you know, it was really a work in progress for years. It's completed. Now all we're waiting for is the opening of the Ontario Relief subway line, and the first stop is going to be an exhibition with another one there at Dufferin, and that is where this is located. Boutique building, lowest PSF in the core. It is even lower than Riv, but on the other side of the city. It's right at the King 24-hour streetcar. You have Queen 24-hour streetcar. You're going to have the subway, okay? 14 stories, 246 suites. It is being built by Curated Properties. Now, I need you to know something about these guys. They haven't done many projects, but they've done 5 or 6. And every single, that's because they're not a volume developer, they're a quality developer. Every single project that they have built demands the highest resale in the area and the highest rental rate. I'm going to repeat that so it sinks in. Whatever this developer builds demands the highest resale price and the highest rental rate in that area. Every single one of their projects. So if you're looking for quality at a fantastic price, essentially value, this could be it. 3 minutes to the exhibition GO station. We will have GO, TTC, and subway, and it's located close to King Street, close to Queen Street, close to Liberty Village, everything there. 8 Temple, and we saw the blue dot circle it. That's where we're located. Arcadia District, October 10th. We're going a little north of Etobicoke. We're at Bloor and Kipling. Okay, we're steps to the subway. This will be the area that is the fastest changing with the most condos popping up in the city around Kipling, Bloor, Kipling, Dundas. We are going to see master plan community, single tower pop by very reputable developers. We had one that did last summer that did phenomenally well. Now we have Arcadia District by Ellis Dawn. They're one of the largest construction companies in the city. They built the Rogers Center. They built numerous malls. They're big scale, big projects. Now they're getting in the residential field. They did a couple partnerships and collabs. Now they're going on their own. 4 towers. Phase 1 is 34 stories, 405 suite. Master plan community located at the Kipling Transit Hub. Like I said, Kipling Transit Hub, was talking about this last year. 10,000 new units are coming here. Okay, remember, the more condos, the higher the PSF. There is synergy between multiple condo projects, not competition. Close to Sherway Gardens, Pearson Airport, Humber College, U of T, everything is close because of that subway. TBD for PSF, launching October 10th. We're going to keep trickling out information. We have some great collateral for you guys to look at. That is phase 1. These guys know how to build. They know how to sell. I met up with a developer personally in their VP. Here's showing where it's going to be located. That's the hub. Short walk, very, very short walk. And this hub has TTC, MyWay, Go, and Toronto Pearson Transit. So everything in the city is out of that hub. You can go north, west, east, south, all ready to go. We'll circle back and talk about that in a future webinar. But reach out to us and let's get you information and be ahead of everybody else for us. Now, launching October 12th, we have the last project on the city's waterfront, essentially, coming to us. We have Q Condos. Again, at a price of $1,700 per square foot, but we will have units in the 1,500s as well. This project, as we can see from the image, although it's behind a couple buildings on the lower floors, every single south or corner unit sees water. So the way the building was designed on the tower segment is that you see through the buildings in front of you. So you're getting lake views. And these are lake views, again, for life because of the maximum height right on the lake. So those buildings, there's no fiscal sense or logic to be able to tear down the one in front of you and build higher towers because you're not allowed. And because they're new S condos, okay, that's what it is. So Lifetime and Diamond Corp, 2 of the oldest and best well-known developers, okay, I also own in Lifetime projects, are building 60 stories, 900 suites, forever protected views of the water, CN Tower, and skyline. Remember that. You see the water, the CN Tower, and Toronto skyline, the 3 most important views of the city. This building offers them all. And that view there, where you see the building in red being put into it, when you Google City of Toronto, that's the view that comes up. So your building is going to be in the image that everyone around the world knows when they think Toronto. That should tell you something about this location. AAA is an understatement. 99 walk score, 100 transit. Perfect walk and transit scores. It's walking distance to the financial district, Hospital Alley, post-secondary institutions, including OCAD, Ryerson, and University of Toronto. And everything is accessible in minutes by transit. You cannot compare this location with anything else we've seen in quite a while. And it's right there smack in the middle of it. You want downtown living, you want to invest in a property where your tenants will pay a premium because of the quality of life this location provides. It gets them to work and play. This is it. Q Tower coming out October 19th, if I'm not mistaken, October 12th. Now, end of September, these are some projects worth mentioning. Bellwoods House. This is on Strawn Avenue, just south of Trinity Bellwoods. Boutique condos in this area, luxury boutique condos. There's a couple, they're selling around $1,800 a square foot. This project that is being built by a very close friend of mine, Matt Young of Republic Developments, he is going to live there. He has already pre-sold some custom penthouses. The finishes, quality, the workmanship, and the execution of this project will be second to none. It is across the street from some of the most expensive townhouses in the city, but no one knows about it. This building will appreciate and appreciate and appreciate once built. So if you're looking for something in the city at around $1,500 a square foot, but the value of a 1,800 square foot building, think Bellwood's house, reach back out to us. We'll set up a private presentation. Fantastic investment opportunity coming. We just got Taryn on this one. End of September, early October, we're going to let you know. October, we also have GTHA Condos on the Queensway. Again, another Queensway project by Marlin Spring and Greybook. Marlin Spring is really the king of the Queensway. Okay, 12 stories, 321 suites. I fly back. I'm at a Marlin Spring presentation on Thursday about it. On the following Monday, I'm going to the 1107 main presentation by Innate and Westdale. Innate is a great developer that usually does Kitchener, Waterloo, Hamilton. That's where they're the big boys on the block. They're building in Hamilton. This is not downtown Hamilton. This is suburb Hamilton, right next to McMaster University's main campus. And what's the draw to condo investing in Hamilton? It's pretty much McMaster, and this is steps to it. Okay? Great developer. They are the ones that built up Kitchener, Waterloo. They're bringing their expertise to Hamilton, and we'll have more information for you that on Monday and a launch date. And also, the final tower at M City, south of Square One, M6, Burnenthrope and Confederation Parkway, Urban Capital, and Rogers Real Estate Development. This master plan community, the final installment that we've been waiting for, M6, is coming. And lucky for everyone, prices will be suppressed from where they should have been because of what we just went through. Great opportunity. I'm going on Friday to an info session about this. Now I'm going to talk about part 5, investor events and programs. I'm going to tell you guys about something that I am part of. Let's go, Kayla. We have the Everyday Investor Summit. So the Everyday Investor has been a show that's been on TV for over a decade, okay? And it's been letting everybody know great ways for you, the everyday individual, to find investment streams to help your money work for you. So the host of that RAV tour, I have been the guest speaker and the condo expert on his show now for years. And any chance we get to collab, we take it because he's a great individual, he's honest. And he is taking his top 7 investment professionals, whom one of which I am myself. And we are hosting the Everyday Investor Summit, where we are going to give you different types of real estate investing and stocks. And we are each going to take our expertise, take some time to talk to you, the potential investor, seasoned or newbie, and let you see all the best options that we're all experts in, and let you sit down and pick the right one for you. So this is happening on the 29th of October in Vaughan at the Venue Event Space, which is a beautiful place. We're going to have lunch and coffees, everything included. I think it's a fantastic opportunity. The cost of this is a fraction of what other summits charge. Okay, we are not even going to make a profit. We're looking to cover our costs because it is our way to give back to you, the community that has all helped us do so well. And I think it is a great opportunity for those of you that are ready to invest. Now, there's some of you on this webinar that have been following us for years and have been, for some reason, not confident enough to pull the trigger. Maybe you don't like what I'm saying. Maybe you don't like it enough. Maybe condos aren't for you. But come to this summit, listen to other experts talk, and see which one of the 7 people resonates better for you, attracts you more, and that's who you should invest with. Because I really believe that our city and our lives are about to get really expensive. Cost of living in Toronto is going to skyrocket as home prices increase, and they're going to skyrocket in the next few years, okay? And it's really imperative and essential that we secure our family and our own financial futures by letting our money work for us. Again, October 29th, Everyday Investor Summit. Yours truly will be speaking there, and it's a great opportunity for you to expand your investment horizons and find the right investment opportunity for you. Now, I have told you that I know Toronto's expensive and it's not an easy investment. And I've also told you that I have, for this reason, started to look at Calgary. And I will be doing a Calgary webinar in the next month or so where I will talk about what I learned being in here in the city. In the meantime, whoever registers for will see videos being sent to them so they can see different areas of the city that I visited and what the feeling was, okay? And that's Calgary. But that's still 10% investment. But what if you have 25,000? That's not enough for a 5% down payment for the city of Toronto, okay? And it is less than 10% for Calgary because you can't really buy in for less than 300, 350,000, so that's 35,000. But what if you have 25? So a group of us got together with one of the generational developers here in the city, and we sat down with their financiers, and we developed a buying pool. So the buying pool is an opportunity for you to invest in Toronto real estate when you still don't have the amount that's usually required for investing. So investing in real estate can open new opportunities to diversify your portfolio or to kickstart a portfolio. If you're considering investing in real estate in the Greater Toronto Area, this program could be the perfect solution. With a minimum investment of $25,000, it can help you build your portfolio by purchasing a pre-construction condominium with minimal equity. So basically, it's a partnership, legally sound, where you purchase equity, $25,000 stake, and we, with very, very conservative forecasts, and I've insisted with the math here, okay, with a team of accountants and lawyers, we are doing a conservative forecast of 154% return on your 25,000. And that is extremely conservative. And when we did this, we eliminated the boom years. Okay, so we really took the average years to do this. And by investing in a pre-construction condominium, you can take advantage of potential appreciation and value that comes with owning a property in a thriving real estate market like Toronto. And that's the truth. So I'm not going to go more into this because I believe you should have some questions. I believe we covered a lot of topics. I also know, because of how excited I was talking very, very quickly, and I want you guys to be able to absorb this. So we have the Toronto product that I talked about today. We have, Calgary product that I hear, boots on the ground, lining up for you guys, okay? We're going to talk about that in a subsequent webinar. And for those of you that are interested, Calgary is the buy if Toronto is too expensive, or if you want to take one purchase in Toronto and make it two. That's what Calgary is. The buying pool is when you're unable to do either of those two options, you come into the buying pool. It's all the benefits of the real estate market and the investment without what tends to be excessive for most of the initial first investment. And that's what we tried to do. And that's why we created it. We created a vehicle for your money, which is more accessible for the average individual, so that you are able to benefit from the rise that we will see in the world of real estate and prices without having the worry and the stress of coming up with the more than $25,000. And that's really what it is. So we've covered three main things: one, in depth, Toronto and upcoming projects; Calgary briefly with my intro; and the buying pool briefly. So we're going to have subsequent webinars for those. And please feel free to watch them. It is always my pleasure to share my knowledge with you. And I think these are great opportunities and alternative investment streams for everyone. And remember, for the seasoned investor and the new to-be investor, we have our Summit Investment Seminar, the Everyday Investor Summit, on October 29th in Vaughan. We will provide lunch, we will provide refreshments, we will provide coffee. We want you to come there and absorb. It'll be a day-long event where myself, along with 6 additional professionals, all in their respective fields of investment, will share that information with you. And we would love to join us in person, but we also have an option to do it by Zoom. But I would really like for you guys to be there in person, because then you'll have the opportunity to mingle and see who you gravitate, whose ideas resonate with you, and go talk to them in person and gain more information. Now, never count on making a good sale. Have the purchase price be so attractive that even a mediocre sale gives good results. That's Warren Buffett. And I've also been quoting him since the start of the rate hikes. And I have said that Warren Buffett said, when everyone is greedy, be cautious. And when everyone is cautious, be greedy. And that is really the way to make money with real estate. The one thing about real estate is price is going to increase. Listen, we're not Detroit. Detroit got destroyed. And we don't know when it's going to come back because it was a one-trick pony. And the automotive industry, the production of the industry, okay, that left. And I'm not going to get into why that happened, but it did. And unlike Alberta, when they saw oil prices drop, they realized that they were too heavily dependent on one sector of their economy, and they made a 10-year plan and shifted, and where they were 75% dependent on oil and gas, now they're 25, and now they're shifting to tech, and they're a big tech draw, and that's where they're going to boom and continue to boom. Okay? So the real estate I'm advising you invest in, we don't have crystal balls, but we can pretty much guarantee that it's going to keep going for the next 5 years. And that's based on population forecast and immigration, etc. Okay? And this is the time to make money. There's still some caution up there. This is the time to invest. When people are cautious, prices are suppressed. That's the time when you make money because you buy at the lowest price. Okay, Ashley, do we have any questions that I could potentially answer?
Nope, we're good to go.
Okay. Listen, everyone, it was a pleasure speaking to you as always. You had some great projects that were covered. You had some equally great ones that are on the horizon that were touched on. We have Calgary, we have the buyer's pool, we have great opportunities for everyone. We have 2 more webinars coming up. Now, remember, if you're going to take anything home tonight, I want this comment to haunt you. I want to keep you up at nights, okay? I want you guys to remember this. I want you to remember that prices are not going down. Any correction occurred. It's not happening again. Those people that you're sitting with that are telling you the market's going to crash are not your friends. They do not have your best interest. Because even if they are ignorant, they shouldn't be talking about things they don't know. Opinions are like, everyone's got. But whose opinion are you going to listen to? Are you going to listen to the person that invests his own money, puts his money where his mouth is, was selected by his peers of 70,000 to create a course and teach it? Or are you going to listen to the guy that has no investment properties? Or the guy who invests in stocks and doesn't own any real estate? It's up to you. But if you're on the fence, and want to invest somewhere, what's the one thing that always increases in value? What's the one investment sector that has made the most millionaires since the start of time? It is real estate. That answers both of those questions. It is the safest investment to make. In our city, where we have over 100,000 foreign students a year, 150,000 new immigrants a year, and more people with work permits every year, but we cannot build more than 50, 60,000 new units a year. And the icing on the cake, depending on what part of the table you're sitting at, 40% of last year's projects were delayed or canceled, which means there's going to be a 40% drop in new units to market in 4 to 5 years. All this is a recipe for one thing: an increase in prices. So you're either going to get on the bus or be left by the bus. And it's up to you.